She said table's about to turn. Woo! Good morning. Kiobole, gente. So excited that you're here this morning. I'm Michelle Gonzalez, and I am really, really excited to welcome you to the third annual L.E.A.R.N conference, Language Equity in Education. We are super, super excited for the program that we have for you all day long. So hang in there, and I'm gonna turn it over. Oh, I'm about to turn it over to Julie, but before I turn it over to Julie, I actually wanted to say something about Julie. Julie and I are working from two different colleges to help organize this conference, along with a ragtag troop of DIY community college instructors who are just like grading papers and getting this conference going all at the same time. But Julie and I have known each other since graduate school. I was a 32-year-old pregnant graduate student when Julie and I met. And it's just such an honor to be working with Julie and to still be knowing you all these years and to be doing this really good work. So, Julie.
So welcome again. I'm going to share a quick story. A couple of months ago, can you all hear me okay? A couple of months ago, I was in a kind of fairly serious car accident. And so I've been going to physical therapy a lot. And I saw my PT yesterday, and she asked what I was doing this weekend. And I wanted to tell her about the conference, but I had like a little hard ball in my throat. She's a white lady like me, and I was scared she wouldn't get it. She would judge. So this is pretty low stakes compared to what a lot of my students and colleagues face. But this woman, I need her to put my body back together. And I felt so nervous to tell her about this conference that we founded that I look forward to all year. But I channeled all of you who are so committed to this work, and I gave her like a 2-minute summary of linguistic bias in education. And because she's a doctor, I gave her an example from math. And she was like, yeah, I totally get that. She's like, but how would that issue apply to like an English class? And hopefully all the comp profs out there are laughing, right? Because our discipline practically invented this set of assumptions that there's like a narrow channel of writing and of expression that is good or intelligent or correct. So I told her a little more, talking about how in academia, we have this pernicious bias in favor of standard English and a whole set of assumptions around knowledge and intellect connected to language use. And she loved it. Like her eyes lit up, she got it 100%. And I thought of how Michelle always says, this is a movement. And it's a movement because it's a pretty seismic shift in how we do education, particularly higher ed. And it means rethinking and restructuring and figuring out how to actually do it, which is the amazing work that the presenters today are gifting us with. So I am deeply grateful to be partnering, not just with Las Positas College, but with also the amazing Michelle Gonzalez, who I met, she said, like almost 25 years ago in Ginu Kamani's craft of fiction class, and who I immediately knew was fire, who has always been fire. I'm equally grateful to my co-conspirator at Glendale College, Heather Ramos, who I will hand the mic off to now to introduce our amazing team who came together because Heather saw the need for us to have support in putting this shindig together. And we could not have had a finer, more extraordinary humans than those that she will introduce. Heather.
Thank you for that, Julie. Hey, everybody. Buenos dias. My name is Heather Ramos, and I'm really excited to be here with you all. As you can see, I'm in an in-person hub, so we're going to have a few people here, but hopefully you can see me with the big yellow hoop earrings, long dark hair. But yes, and what Julie was saying too, I want to clarify. She actually started this conference years ago with just one colleague at GCC. And it's so much work to put together a conference. So her and Mike Peterson did so much to get this together. And then last year, we were really doing this with Michelle. And we just recognized that need and that more support. And this year we got it. And all of our committee is very amazing. So I'd like to give them a quick shout out. We have Karen Spern. Karen has really helped us out with website stuff and finding our keynote and solidifying our keynote. Yeah, Karen is amazing. And she also presented at the conference last year. So she has been invested in this work for a long time. We also have Keelan Koning. And Keelan also helped us out last year so much with tech stuff and jumped on this year. And we're like, we'd also like your support. And right away was on board, helped Karen a little bit with the website and did some amazing things with making sure that we're as accessible as we can be. And she has some important statements for us in a few minutes. We also have Edgar Zardarian, who is right here next to me. He's another fellow person at GCC with me, and he really came on and helped us with so much of the back end things that we don't always want to do, right? Like compiling long lists in order to advertise. So really important. And then helped me a lot with setting us up today. And then we also had Julie Kasperin Schultz. Julie really helped us, Julie Cia, as I like to say, because we have Julie G right here. Julie helped us with a lot of the decision making as well and figuring out how to get all these important parts together, including our presenters who we will get to hear from during the breakout sessions. Finally, last but not least, I saved him for the end because he's so important. We have Joshua Cardinero, who is a student worker and assistant at Las Positas College and really has been like just indispensable and making sure we get honorarium paperwork or getting our folks paid for being here and putting in that labor, and getting our students for the student panel, which he's going to be on. So get ready to see him there. Definitely stick around for that right after lunch. And then he's helping host the campus in-person hub. So yeah, thank everybody again for our committee. Like they're so amazing. We could not do it without you all.
Are we at that moment, Heather? We
Not
are.
yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But so let's see. I'm just looking for the slide. You will see a slide in a moment, but I will pull it up. The schedule for the day, just letting you know really quickly, is pretty soon. We're going to probably might run too late, but we'll get there soon. We are so excited for Sun to show. And we're going to get there in a minute. Then we're going to have a nice little break. Then we're going to have our breakout sessions with our extraordinary presenters. We're dropping in the chat for you links so that you can see the bios, the session descriptions, make your choices. We're going to have some lunch. We're going to have a student panel, which last year, if any of the students are on here already, you need to know you were the highlight of last year. A break and then more breakout sessions, and then we'll have a short closing. So please stay with us, but let me talk to you now just a little bit about some of our values in this conference. We are trying to live our values and really, let's see, and that would be one more slide, I think, Javier, if you don't mind, to communication. So thank you so much. So we want you to know that it's really important to us that you're able, that use the chat. We DM, drop links, do everything you need to do. Because we're a large group, we're going to save our verbal communication for breakout sessions or like hand raising and Q&A. If you do have a question you want to make sure we notice, do all capital letter question in the chat, like question, what was that song? Or question, where has this conference been all my life? And then we will scroll through and try to catch those. And then we do have ASL interpretation and live captioning services for the duration of the conference. Thank you so much to our interpreters, Mara and Kim. And instructions for breakout sessions will be provided before the sessions begin. And then next, another one of our values is self-care, self-love, community care, and doing this over Zoom. So we just wanted to let you know that it is 100% okay. We wanted to assure everyone that it's okay to walk the dog and fold some laundry, eat, or what I like to do, lay on the floor and just like stare at the ceiling while you listen. So we know the day is going to be amazing. We have learned so much, been inspired by each other, and we know that's all going to happen. And we also want you to take care of yourself. So show up, take notes, share in the chat. be present in the way you want to be, all the different ways throughout the day. And we just acknowledge that our bodies, we need to move and eat and rest. Our spirit needs connection with each other, but also quiet and stillness. So we're here for all of it with you today. And with that, I want to turn it over to the amazing Keelan Koenig for a little bit more on that and our land acknowledgement. Keelan.
Hi, everyone. So disability justice is something that we're very passionate about. And what Julie was talking about earlier is really grounded in that as well. And I just wanted to read quickly this beautiful line from Patty Burns' Disability Justice, a Working Draft. We're dropping some links in the chat so you can also learn a little bit more about that. Access needs do not need to be held in shame. We all have various capacities which function differently in various environments. Access needs can be articulated within a community and met privately or through a collective, depending upon an individual's needs, desires, and the capacity of the group. We can share responsibility for our access needs without shame. We can ask our needs be met without compromising our integrity. We can balance autonomy while being in community. We can be unafraid of our vulnerabilities, knowing our strengths are respected. So we encourage you to voice your needs. I know some of you are voicing needs about the link right now to the site. We appreciate that. We just invite you to explore and express your body, mind, spirits, needs tenderly as they arise while we are gathered together in this communal virtual space. All right, and let's go forward to the next slide. And we have our land acknowledgement. This is also very important to us. I haven't been having a lot of conversations about land acknowledgements as something that can be very performative. And this is something that we definitely do not want to express. The work that we are doing here is for this purpose, linguistic justice. The L.E.A.R.N conference comes to you virtually from Tongva, Gabrielino, Chumash, Muwekma, and the Confederated Villages of Lisjan land, as well as across the country, right? Because you all are from all over the country. We want to express our gratitude and respect for the original and enduring caretakers of this land. We recognize the historical and ongoing impacts of colonization on Indigenous communities, including the eradication of their linguistic culture and wealth, and strive to use this space to show our solidarity as we fight for linguistic justice.
The next slide. And that's you, Michelle.
Oh,
One more slide.
one
Thank you
more
so much.
slide. So our community values, we're here to create an environment where everyone feels safe, respected, and heard. To that end, let's practice the following. Acknowledging that this conference is intentionally anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic, anti-ableist, and anti-xenophobic, and we will all work to reflect this throughout the day.
And one slide back. One slide forward. Thank you so much. To community values.
Okay, yes, and I can go ahead and jump in there. We have a few more values we just wanted to go over before we jump into them. Thank you. So a willingness to be guided by the knowledge and cultural wealth of the students we serve, and the students that will be here later with us today, sharing their experiences with us. Engaging thoughtfully with the scholarship, ideas, and contents by using the chat to engage with attendees and the Q&A feature to pose questions to speakers. General questions are always welcomed in the chat, and respectfully and constructively supporting each other as we explore ideas on how to practice linguistic justice.
Thank you. And then finally, keeping in mind that we'll are all learning, and learning can be messy, as we know. Acknowledging that any discriminatory, hateful comments will result most likely in being removed from the conference, and a willingness to work on how and when to step forward. You know, we're all learning there, and when you should step back, and that's speaking or in the chat. And I'm so excited that Michelle and Heather are going to introduce Sun. And just so you know, I just checked in with Sun, and I was like, we're going a little long on this. I was like, do you want to, could you stay a little long, or you can say no? And he was like, no, of course. So, all right, Heather and Michelle.